Hey guys, welcome to Girls Frontline 2. So both banners are fast approaching, just a day to go, and I'd like to get this out of the way. Who should you pull? If either of them are your waifus, then go for it. There's no question about it. If Klukai is your waifu, go for her. If Maki is your waifu, go for her. That is it. However, if you are a new player, I would suggest that you go for Maki since this is her rerun and we don't know when she'll be coming back. And Klukai will have her rerun definitely in a few months. Why Maki? Because Maki will help you clear bosses that you are going to be encountering in the earlier stages, and it will help you immensely. So if you decided to go with Klukai, how many copies would you need of her? Okay, number one, if you're free to play, definitely she's going to be good at V0. You don't need copies of her at V0 or free to play. She is the best AOE damage DPS that we have in the game. If you want to move further away from V0, let's check out her vertebrae here and see if what level is going to be the best option. So V3 is the next suggested level. So for each hit, increased damage dealt by 10% up to a maximum of 50%. If a boss target is hit, the damage increases to 50% immediately. So if two or more targets or if a boss target is hit, this skill can immediately be used again. Applies defense down and toxic infiltration on target before attacking for 2 turns. So what does this mean? If you are going to be using Klukai as a boss damage dealer or boss killer, you definitely need to bring her to V3 or upgrade your vertebrae to V3. V0 doesn't do much for bosses. It's gonna be purely for AOE damage dealing, for mob killing. Also, if you are, if you have the means, one stopover, the biggest one, is going to be at vertebrae 6 or V6. So for V6, this skill ignores damage reduction from cover, increases width by 2 tiles, and applies terror for 2 turns after skill usage, triggers effects, corrosion infusion, and effects of toxic infiltration that are triggered upon death for all enemies. So the stops basically for Klukai, if you're free to play, V0. If you want to have her as a boss killer, go for V3. If you want to have it all, go for V6. So if you don't want Klukai and you decide to go with Maki, how many copies do you need of her? Definitely at V0, she is good, but she's not going to be at her best. She's going to be at her best once you take her to V1. So for V1, performs 2 attacks, critical damage will no longer be increased, and the damage is decreased to 100% of attack. If the first attack crits, the critical rate of the second attack is increased by 100% and critical damage is increased by 80%. So what this does mean, this skill here, she has a, I think the skill is a cold precision shot. This shoots twice. So again, that's a lot of damage, and which also helps her in doing more attacks for interception. So for V2, if you're taking her to V2, the absorption amount of Frost Barrier is increased to 80, and the unit's initial attack and the cap is increased at 80% of max HP. The number of interception triggered is increased by 1 also per turn. So this also helps. So definitely both V1 and V2 are going to be your choices if you're building Maki over Klukai. So those are my recommendation at this point. Again, it's really up to you on who you're going to be getting. Decide accordingly based on what you think will be beneficial for yourself, whether it's going to be waifu or whether it's going to be useful to your roster. Guys, thank you very much for staying this far. Take care, stay safe. This is the Warden, and I'm out of here.